Your data is like gold to hackers, and they'll sell it to the highest bidder. Are you protected? McAfee helps shield you, blocking suspicious texts, malicious emails, and fraudulent websites. McAfee Secure VPN lets you browse safely, and its AI-powered text scam detector spots threats instantly. You'll also get up to $2 million of award-winning antivirus and identity theft protection, all for just $39.99 for your first year. Visit McAfee.com. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
Are your ulcerative colitis symptoms proving difficult to manage? Tremfya guselkumab can help you manage the cycle of UC symptoms. At 1 year, many patients taking Tremfya achieved clinical remission, and some patients also achieved endoscopic remission. Individual results may vary. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor if Tremfya can help you manage the cycle of UC symptoms. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more, or visit tremfyaradio.com.
It's a Minimalist Monday edition of Optimal Finance Daily. Would you go this far to pay off your debt? By Cynthia Meyer with financialfinesse.com. Do you feel like the stress from your credit card debt and student loans is out of control? Perhaps you're wishing on stars for a lottery win or an unexpected inheritance which will wipe your financial slate clean. Maybe you're putting off going to the dentist or taking a vacation so you can pay your credit card minimums. If you're sick and tired of living this way, ask yourself this question: am I ready to do whatever it takes to pay off my debt? You are not alone. Our research shows that nearly 1 in 4 employees, or 23%, reports unmanageable financial stress. No age, gender, income level, or demographic group is immune from financial mistakes. However, the reverse is also true. Millions of people of all ages, genders, income levels, and demographic groups have successfully tackled their debts and gone on to build very comfortable financial lives. I know because I'm one of them. In my early 30s, I was a renter with credit card debt, student loans, a damaged credit score, and a lifestyle beyond my means. 20 years later, I'm a financially independent homeowner, real estate investor, and committed saver who puts away 30% of my income. My journey to find financial balance inspired an entirely different career as a financial planner and led me to meet my husband. It all started with my personal declaration of financial independence and my vow to make whatever changes were necessary to dig myself out of the hole I was in. Big changes get big results. How did I do it? Initially, I tracked my expenses and made small changes that saved $5 to $10 per day. I made coffee at home, gave up magazines, canceled the gym membership, etc. My fellow planner, Kelly Long, had similar experiences of cutting small luxuries when she was tackling debt. Although I was proud of myself for making changes, after a few months, I grew frustrated. I didn't feel like I was making progress quickly enough. That's when I decided that only making drastic changes would get the outsized results I was seeking. Here's what I did. Number 1, I downsized my living space. I had a beautiful, spacious rooftop apartment with a deck, a view of downtown, and a short walk to the lake. I gave my notice and moved into the home of some friends for 3 months while they traveled overseas, then rented a room in a 2-bedroom house for a few years. I saved about $600 per month in housing costs, even if my dignity suffered a little initially, and ended up with a fun housemate. After a few years, I moved back into my own place, but instead of choosing a spacious downtown apartment, I chose a small studio. If you're looking for some wiggle room in your budget to pay down debt, looking at living expenses may make sense. Is it time for you to downsize your housing? Number 2, I took walks, hikes, and hosted potlucks. As a single woman in an urban area, I had grown accustomed to a social life built around discovering new restaurants, movies, and meeting for wine or coffee. That was a lot harder to change than my living space. What would I do for fun? I set parameters for how much I would spend on entertainment per week, about $50 for a savings of around $300 per month, and began to find new ways to connect to my friends. I was proactive, suggesting meeting for a walk instead of Thai food. When friends invited me to dinner or to an event, I politely declined if I'd met my entertainment budget for the week. Parties became potluck dinners, which friends liked because they saved everyone money. There is a secret financial power in home cooking. And number 3, I gave up my car. A few years into my financial transformation, I was making excellent progress. I had moved back into my own place, up in the hills where there was no close public transportation. Then a twist of parking fate compelled me to give up my car and to not replace it. I walked almost everywhere, a relatively easy thing to do in a big city, and took buses and the train. I will admit, there were occasional moments of embarrassment, such as when I sprained my ankle and friends at work had to drive me around for a few weeks. I chose to explain my decision by saying I wanted to walk more for fitness. This saved me about $300 per month compared to what I had been spending. I'm not the only planner who's done this, by the way. My financially savvy colleague, Eric Carter, went carless last year. How much did I save altogether from these big changes? More than $1,200 per month between reduced housing costs, giving up my car, and capping my entertainment expenses. That's 4 times as much as I had been saving by cutting small luxuries. Thanks to my willingness to reconsider the necessity of the most expensive items in my spending, I was able to pay off my debts much quicker and save thousands in interest charges. Tackling debt can feel like climbing a mountain, it's true. But adventurous souls climb mountains every day. Consider making some big changes to climb that debt mountain faster. Trust me, you'll feel great when you get to the top and look around at how far you've come. You just listened to the post titled, "Would You Go This Far to Pay Off Your Debt?" by Cynthia Meyer with financialfinesse.com.
I was never really a runner. The way I see running is a gift, especially when you have stage 4 cancer. I'm Anne. I'm running the Boston Marathon, presented by Bank of America. I run for Dana-Farber Cancer Institute to give people like me a chance to thrive in life, even with cancer.
Join Bank of America in helping Anne's cause. Give if you can at BofA.com/supportAnne. What would you like the power to do? References to charitable organizations is not an endorsement by Bank of America Corporation. Copyright 2025.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
As someone who got out of 30 grand of debt in 11 months, this topic is one very close to my heart. One thing I'd like to offer up here is that our internal dialogue about our debt and spending has a powerful effect on our actions. So if we're telling ourselves that we have to make great sacrifices, that it's going to be a struggle to get out of debt, and that it's going to be a ton of hard work, there is a tone of negativity there that might thwart our efforts. What worked well for me was staying engaged with the excitement of paying off my debt by focusing more on what I'm gaining versus what I was losing. I think framing things in a positive way and genuinely having a real preference for my frugal habits versus seeing them as a sacrifice or burden made the process so much more enjoyable. So for example, I started cooking nearly every meal I ate and really enjoyed my experiments in the kitchen. Or when it comes to clothing, for years, most of my clothing came from clothing exchanges with my friends. They were so much fun and totally free. I actually much prefer hosting a clothing exchange to going shopping or buying new clothing. With every challenge comes incredible opportunity to learn about ourselves and grow into our full potential. Yes, debt reduction is a challenge, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a struggle. And that's a wrap for another Monday show. Have a great rest of your day and start to your week. And I'll be back tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.